What's up, guys? I always talk about how wonderful it is to plant trees seasonally, make a bunch of money, and then go traveling. But I don't talk about all the shenanigans that you end up getting into while you're traveling. So this is not really anything to do with tree planting. It's just kind of a little anecdote, little story into one of my winter travels because, you plan for the summer and you're off for the winter. So this was before COVID, 2019, okay? I decided to go hike the Himalayas in Nepal with the plan to, after that, go to India. So I want to travel for 2 years, not knowing COVID's gonna happen, right? I end up only traveling for 6. I go to Nepal, I do the Himalayas. I did, I didn't do Everest, obviously. I didn't go to Annapurna Base Camp. You start going to Annapurna and then you do a loop and you come back down. So it's like a 3-4 day thing. It's not extreme. It's still challenging. It's fun. You stay at these little tea houses, crazy experience. Go to India, spend 4 months there. I think it's March and my mom texts me, about COVID. Like, I think it's just some other news, whatever. So I don't make anything of it. 1 week later, now I start seeing the news, COVID. So I start taking it a little bit more seriously. At this point, I'm in Rajasthan, which is a state kind of like north in the desert. It's near like the Pakistan border, kind of, I guess. And the COVID news starts hitting now. Now it's real. You start seeing like testing places pop up here and there. I'm in India, like third world country, India, okay? So me and my buddy also is a traveler, looks like a traveler. We look like travelers. So get kicked out of that little town in Rajasthan because every tourist now has COVID, is infected, even though I've been there for months and I haven't been out of the country. So how could I have brought COVID anyway? So even if you explain to them, they're not hearing you out. Everyone in India speaks English, like either pretty good or just a little bit decent. So, they understand you, but they're not really, you're not getting too deep into things either, sometimes. So I go to New Delhi, right? In the thoughts of, bigger city, more amenities, more comprehension, airports, etc. What am I going to do? Go to New Delhi. New Delhi is empty. Right? Everybody's staying in now. So the busiest city on earth, I don't know if it's actually the busiest city on earth, but one of them, super crazy busy, New Delhi, empty, bro. I saw this place empty, it was crazy. Get to the hostel, everybody's coughing. Everybody's in not a state of complete chaos, but everybody has this thing on their mind of, are we sticking this out? Are we taking this seriously? Are we going home? Like, we're not sure yet. So, I'm like, this is gonna go over. But every day that goes by, I'm in this hostel for I think a week. Every day that goes by, it gets significantly worse. Like food became more expensive for white people because we shouldn't be here. Most hotels don't accept you anymore. Only traveling backpacker hostels, which limits where you can go. And now everybody's booking them. So I'm starting to realize that, this it could go okay, but it could get horrible fast. So I'm like, I'm just gonna leave. I'm either going to go somewhere else, keep traveling. I'm not, at this point, I'm going to go back home to Canada. I'm just going to get out of India because I'd rather be like stuck in Japan than stuck in India when everything breaks loose. You know what I'm saying? So I started looking at flights. I started kind of booking one. They're all super expensive at this point. Booking one, starting to put the info in, boom, flight is no longer available. This keeps happening. So I'm like, man, the world's fucking shutting down, bro. So this is late at night. I go to bed. The next day, I'm like, I need to fucking leave. I go to the Canadian embassy. I write emails. They can't really help me. They don't know what's going on. Nobody knows what's going on. So go back to the hostel. I'm like, bro, I'm in mega survival mode at this point, okay? So I decide I need to go to the airport physically. Fuck booking a flight online. I'm just going to go there and there's going to be planes. I'll have more chances of getting on a plane if I'm already there. That's what I'm thinking. So call a cab. The cab's like, we can't drive people anymore. We have to stay home. There's barricades to the airport, like army barricades. I'm like, bro, we'll figure things out as we move. I'll give you $200 if you come pick me up right now. Let's fucking go. $200 Canadian. So it's like, I don't know, a ride like that would probably be like $6. So it's a crazy amount. So he comes. We get to the barricade, like 15-minute we drive. We're almost at the airport. There's a barricade. The army guy comes, bro. At this time, I was like, I wanted to become a rapper. So I was like doing little songs. I had a SoundCloud, whatever. I had little stickers made of myself as a rapper. So I give the sticker to the army guy, and I'm like, yo, I'm like the Justin Bieber kind of of Canada. Like, I don't know how I presented it to him. I start rapping to him, singing some bullshit. He looks at me, he's like, okay, I'm like, I have a flight, like, I have a team, like, I don't know, man. I was in survival mode. The guy lets me, the barricade soldier lets me, and this is real, bro. And like all the footage of this, I have it. It's like in an old phone, bro. I'd have to go repair it. I'd have to pay to make it alive again. Anyway, I should do that. But get to the airport. It's kind of panicky, not too much, not too crazy, but there's a vibe going on at the airport. Get to the airport. I start looking around, asking around, where is the next flight out? I don't care where it is at this point, because India, I'm realizing each country reacted differently, right? I'm realizing India is not reacting well to this at all, and I just want to get to like Japan or somewhere not too far that has a bit more kind of amenities. So Japan was the next flight out, okay? One way to Japan. And I'm like, in Japan, maybe there'll be more flights, maybe to Canada, because there wasn't any flights to Canada from India. There was very limited where I could go from India. So this flight is like, I think it was like 1800, but Japan to India normally is like 5. So it's very expensive. And like at the time, my credit limit, I couldn't handle the 1800 like hit. Either my credit limit was lower or I had already money on it. Anyway, I couldn't like book it like this. So me, survival mode, bro, survival mode, trying to survive. I hear this girl speaking French because I'm French Canadian. So I hear the Quebecois accent. So I fucking go to this girl. She's in panic. I'm like, yo, let's team up. We're both going to the same place. We both just want to leave India. Let's get to this Japan flight. Let's take the Japan flight. Let's get out. And from there, we can either go back to Canada or we have more options. She's like, okay, I'm down. I'm like, listen, I can e-transfer you, but I can't book my own flight on my credit card. It's too much. She's like, I have all the space on my credit card. So I'm like, bet. As soon as you like book it, I'll e-transfer you right now. I showed her the money in my account. Like, you know, we were gonna team up for this. So we both fucking booked this Japan flight. It works. We book it. I e-transfer her. We're on the flight together, bro. We escaped India, bro. So we land in Japan, okay? In Japan now, it's not normal. Like they're still not down for COVID. Everyone's wearing masks, you know, but it's not as extreme. It's not as extreme yet. So my goal in Japan is to book a flight. I'm at this point in time, the tree planting season is gonna start again in Canada. So I'm like, do I keep traveling and skip the season knowing that this shit is going down? Or do I just take a pause in my plan of traveling for 2 years around Asia, go plant, reassess, and then head out again? So I'm kind of like, yo, it might not be fun at all to travel with COVID, so I'm just gonna go back home and plant. So from Japan, I decided to go back to Canada. I think I had 36 hours to wait for that flight, so I ended up taking a bus to Tokyo, spending 6 to 8 hours walking around, bumming around, and then going back to the airport, going back to Canada, landing in Vancouver, because I was living in BC during that. Like when I was planting, I was not on the East Coast in Quebec. Go back to Vancouver, everything's fucked there. Like they're stressed out, you know. It was like you needed to be screened and all this stuff. The vaccinations weren't a thing yet, but it was crazy. You know what was going on? Everybody was buying toilet paper. I had this toilet paper roll wrapped around my fanny pack, and I was trolling. I didn't know this was real. I thought this was a fucking joke. So I was like, I'm selling a square for $5. I don't know. I was like lit off the travel vibes. Coming back to this, bro, I didn't know how to adjust. I was lit. I was still lit. Like I was free. I was like, I was free, bro. And the COVID brought me down spiritually a little bit. So that's the crazy story of how I got stuck in India, not for very long during COVID, came back. Luckily, the planting season wasn't affected with the COVID yet. Like there was some measures like masks in the truck and like stuff like that, but I was able to plant, and I guess life didn't keep going as usual after that, as you guys know. Even 6 years later now, it's 6 years, bro. It still feels like fucked. Anyway, guys, that's the story of India. So, you know, this very character building that this happened. And, but you know, being a tree planter and already having that like character building job made that situation a lot easier to handle. Like I wasn't a little scared, but I kind of thought it was fun too. So I don't know. Yeah. See you on the next video, guys.